Good morning, grade 3. I welcome you to today's social studies lesson. And this week we are going to read lesson 3, Caring for the Environment. And the learning objective is to identify the steps that are involved when you're trying to solve a problem. So let's get started. Don't forget to pause this video and read the text. So, on the first page, we can see that the title is Caring for Environment. Let's start reading. There are 3 very important words, vocabulary words that you should know. The first word is pollution, second word is conservation, and the last one is recycle. And we're going to come about these words as we read the lesson. So, let's begin. Caring for our environment. People make changes to the environment every day. Some of the changes people make can cause problems. We can care for the environment by protecting our natural resources. So let's look at how we can solve the problem of pollution. How can we control pollution? So let's start reading. One way people change the environment is by creating pollution. So pollution is anything that makes a natural resource dirty or unsafe to use. For example, water that is polluted is not safe to drink. This picture down below here is from San Diego. California and other cities have worked to keep the air clean. So there are many cities in the United States and lots of states that are working proactively to combat pollution. Great. Let's look at another problem. So let's look at how pollution is caused. So what are the causes of pollution? Let's read. Trash and other kinds of waste can cause pollution. Some people throw trash onto the ground or into bodies of water. Because of this trash collects on the land and in waterways. This can make soil and water unsafe for plants, animals, and people. Factories and cars can cause air pollution. Smoke in the air can mix with fog. This kind of pollution is called smog. Breathing polluted air can lead to health problems. So let's look at reducing pollution. What can we do? Last paragraph. Many communities have made changes to cut down on pollution. Some car makers now make hybrid cars that have both a gasoline engine and an electric motor with a battery. By burning less gasoline, hybrids can cause less air pollution. So hybrid cars, and there's this fast fact that hybrid cars can save gas in several ways. Besides their efficient engines, they also have smoother shapes and lighter weight than regular cars. So if you want to do some research about hybrid cars, please do, and do not forget to share a comment. Let's look at the second page. Well, on this page, we can see that conserving our resources. Like, we're going to see how can we conserve our resources. So let's read the first paragraph. People protect natural resources through conservation. Now, what is conservation? Conservation is the saving of resources to make them last longer. One form of conservation is to set aside lands for special protection. The use of the resources in these lands is limited. So one way to conserve is to set aside lands and give them special protection. As all the resources that within are going to be conserved, saved, in other words. Reuse resources. So there's another way of conserving our resources is by simply reusing them. Recycle. So let's read about recycle. Another way people conserve is by recycling. When people recycle, they use resources over again. Newspapers and cardboard, many plastics, glass from bottles and jars, and aluminium from cans can be reused. By recycling, people do not add as much trash to landfills. Landfills are places where trash is dumped. So you might have seen a landfill filled with trash, right? And by recycling, you can basically reduce that trash by reusing the resources and causing less pollution and conserving the environment. You can see that there's this girl and she's putting those cans in a bucket. You can see that throughout Qatar as well, we've got these bins that are labeled paper, plastic, and metal or cans. So it's easy for the industry to recycle it, therefore marking conservation that Qatar participates in. Great. You can pause this video and I want you to read about the first Earth Day children in history. Okay, read that and let's go to the next slide. Great. So on this slide, we're going to look for how can we plan for a better future. So let's read. A plan for the future. Not everybody agrees on the best ways to care for the environment. However, changes people make now will improve the environment in the future. A plan to care for the environment can make sure these changes are good ones. So Look at this picture right here, and you can see that this is a school in Maryland, built a bog. This wetlands ecosystem helps keeps the school's environment clean. So they've built a bog, and what it does is that they've imitated the wetland ecosystem, and it helps to clean the school's environment. So that's how we can save our environment. Now there's a summary right here on this page, and I want you to read that. You can pause the video and do so. And what is the task today? So I want all of you to open your books, your practice books, to page number 38, and I want you to imagine that you're writing a letter to the editor of your local newspaper, and I want you to concentrate on environmental issues that you might have thought about that are taking place in Qatar, and you have an idea and you want to persuade the readers to take care of the environment, and how we can make changes in our everyday lives. And you're going to write a letter to the editor, and you can let me give you some ideas. For example, beach. Think about being on the beach and people leaving their trash behind, right? That's a very common problem here. So you can think about it, write a letter, and do not forget to use these 3 words that you see in the word box: pollution, conservation, and recycle. So you want to use these 3 key vocabulary words when you write the letter to the editor, and I'll wait for your answers. So grade 3, complete today's assignment on page 38, and do not forget to share your letter with us when you come to school next. Best of luck, grade 3!